Good morning everyone, Alessandro here and welcome to another Bitcoin price analysis. We're gonna have a look into Bitcoin, guys, because guess what? After this little pump that we have seen yesterday, we immediately got rejected again, and right now again we are trading basically at $108,000 like nothing would have happened. So we're gonna have a look into Bitcoin, what are my expectations for the next coming hours, days and weeks, guys. We're gonna compare it a bit to the gold chart right now, and also we're gonna have a look into the pi cycle indicator. I mean, all sort of top out indicator for Bitcoin hasn't yet flashed, so all of them are still perfectly ongoing. None of them has called right now that the cycle top is in. The only problem that we have is just a timing problem right now, and that's why everyone is so nervous right now. And of course it's very unclear if the rally really continues immediately or if first we are getting into a bear market before we start a completely new bull run. So we're gonna have a look a bit into that, guys. That's why we're gonna have a look into the pi cycle indicator, guys. No, it didn't flash yet that the cycle top is in, but let's have a look where or what should happen in order to basically expect a potential cycle top for Bitcoin. So welcome everyone on board. Make sure to be subscribed on this channel, guys. Our crypto community is growing every day at 3,000 subscribers. We are going to do also the next $100 giveaway, so make sure to be active in this channel. Leave a like, subscribe, share this video with all your friends, because the more active you are, the more likely these are going to select you as the next lucky winner of the next $100 giveaway. Of course, also sign up to all exchanges that I'm using. You can find them here in the video description, such as 2bit exchange, because here no KYC needed. And also if you just register with my link, you get this $50 a bonus immediately after a successful registration, and then depending on your deposit or trading volume, you can get additional rewards up to $2,850, which are also easy to reach. It's not difficult, for example, to reach a certain amount of trading volume, especially with leverage, or for example to put some deposits here. So take advantage of that, guys, because on 2bit exchange, of course, you have a great exchange where you can trade at, but of course in the crypto space, always risk involved. So I'm not a financial advisor. This is no financial advice, guys. If you're trading on those exchanges, then of course keep in mind that I'm not a financial advisor, and also I always just share my own opinions, TA analysis in the crypto market, all sort of exchanges or new cryptos that I'm buying up. I'm sharing that with you guys, so always do your own research. But of course, if you want to be following me, then of course be subscribed, and also check out all links in the video description. Everywhere you get some extra sign up bonus. Also here, for example, on local coin swap, on pure VPN, on Ledger, wallets, and so on. So check them out, guys. And of course, also if you want to invest into new cryptos that are upcoming, that are extremely hyped, like for example Bitcoin Hyper reaching over now 24.5 millions. This is of course one of the most anticipated new cryptos out there. Or also MaxiDoge, this new Dogecoin, so the next Dogecoin that is upcoming in the next coming weeks and months. So check them out, guys. Links here in the video description. And now let's dive here straight into the Bitcoin chart, guys. In the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, we had this big rejection. We came basically up to the 200 moving average in the 4-hour, and you can see that this is of course now clear resistance. And as long as we have basically 4-hour closes below, let's say $115,000, the downtrend continues, and we're gonna chop around in this range between 115K and here the support at around $105,000. This support at $105,000, guys, is coming from the daily time frame, because if we zoom out here, you can see that these light blue lines here, this previous resistance trend line, is now acting as a very strong support. So Bitcoin, even though it crashed down, so far we're still holding nicely this support here. We never had a daily close below it, because if we would do that, the next major support would be down here at $95,000 if that happens. So that's why this support here is very, very important for Bitcoin right now in the daily time frame. And even here on the spot chart, we now recovered back above the 200 daily moving average. As I told you, in theory, everything is perfectly fine. In theory, we're still in an uptrend. Also here on the CME chart, you can see that we bounced perfectly off above the 200 daily moving average. We never really came even below here. Not, of course, no daily close, but even not with a wick below of it. Here on the CME chart, we bounced perfectly from it. And of course, also on the weekly time frame, we have right now this 50 weekly moving average as a support at $102,000 currently. So as long as we don't have weekly closes below 102K, the uptrend continues. The problem that I'm seeing right now on the weekly time frame is of course the indicators. They're still looking bearish. I mean, we have everywhere bearish signs, and also a potential breakout to the downside from this bigger rising wedge here could be incoming, and the breakout target would be all the way down here where we started it, and this is at around 50K. So extremely bearish if that happens. happens, because that could be the long-term target for Bitcoin for the next coming weeks and months if the bear market starts, because also here we have the 200 weekly moving average lining up. That is of course a target during a bear market, and that means that yes, maybe if we start right now a bear market and the top is in here for Bitcoin of this cycle, then we could head down towards 50 to 60k in the next coming months. So maybe during 2026. Of course, we are not going to crash immediately down to those levels. This of course could take several bounces and yeah, basically a bear market until we reach those levels. This is something that we have to look at, because if this week is going to close below 110k, it is possible that this breakout basically is happening right now. And even if we come down here, of course, we could see also some bounces here before then we roll over and then come back down. So this is really something that we have to keep an eye on right now. It's really looking not too great at the moment. And also if we have a look into the US dollar dominance, here we are inverse correlated to Bitcoin. Here we are building up the opposite. Here we are building up a falling wedge, in theory a bullish pattern. And once this breaks out to the upside, it's game over. Then we're gonna see a bear market for sure. And here the indicators are all pointing out to the upside. Of course, we are still below the resistance here, so no breakout happened here. That's why I'm telling you guys, the problem is that we just have a timing problem right now. The cycle top of Bitcoin should be incoming in theory somewhere in October, latest November, December, latest. And that's why we still have the chance to resume the uptrend, to resume the bull run. That is of course possible, but it needs to happen really quick and as soon as possible, because otherwise I really think we have a timing problem. And also based on the indicators and everything, it looks like that at some point we could come down. And if you want a little bit of hopium here, guys, then you should look at gold, for example, or of course on some top indicators for Bitcoin, because all of them has not flashed yet. And one is, for example, gold here. So whenever gold is having a massive rally, usually Bitcoin is going sideways or down. And once the gold is topping out at some point, then we see the beginning of a big bull run for Bitcoin. Most of the times it's leading even into new all-time highs. And here gold, in my opinion, has reached a potential local top. I'm not saying that this is the all-time high for gold and now we're going to crash down to zero. Nothing like that. I just say that this could be a potential local top, because all indicators right now are coming down. And also here on the weekly time frame, as soon as we would see weekly closes back below 4k, which we are almost there, then this could enter into a corrective phase, at least down to test here the median line of the calendar channel, so the 20 weekly moving average that gold so far held always as a support, basically, as you can see here, here, or here. We never came below, even here. So we never came below the median line of the calendar channels during this bull run. And it is possible that if the top is reached, that we could correct down to these levels before we head higher, or even come back down if we enter into a bear market also for gold. Who knows that? I didn't cover too much gold, guys, but at least a potential top, in my opinion, is in here short term for the next coming weeks and months. This is short term here for gold. But yeah, this is a potential hopium that after this gold rally, we're gonna see Bitcoin rally. That is, of course, also possible. And now we're gonna go to the most bullish things, guys. The last hopium that we have, basically, and this is this. So the pi cycle indicator, this is usually a very good indicator to estimate when the potential top for Bitcoin is in or not, whenever this white moving average is crossing like below the short-term moving average, which is the yellow one. Currently it is, I know it's a bit hard to see, but currently it is somewhere, where is it? I think where we're trading right now. So more or less where we're trading right now at around 114k. And this one would need to go above the long-term moving average, which currently is at $205,000. So completely insane. And I mean, it is possible here for Bitcoin, for example, when we were so far away from it. It was September 2020. And in like, yeah, what was it? Like half of a year it took until it crossed then over. So of course it can happen again, but I mean, time-wise, it's really almost impossible right now for that to be reached right now. And this indicator so far was very accurate, and that's why here by far we have not reached it. So based on this indicator, we should be seeing Bitcoin basically rally in the next coming months to much higher levels, which is of course also possible, but it's just unlikely at the moment. And as I told you, it's even possible that first we're gonna enter into a bear market and maybe later on then have this massive run up. It's possible, guys, that maybe 2026 will be a bear market, and then 2027, 8, 9, 30, maybe we're gonna then have this real big parabolic move that will take us to the cycle top. Who knows that? It is possible, and that's why you should be prepared for both scenarios right now. And another indicator is, of course, the rainbow chart indicator for Bitcoin. Also here, based on this indicator, the cycle top should be in basically like today or tomorrow, yeah, latest. And then from there on, we're gonna continue or start a bear market, and maybe during the whole 2026 we're gonna do something like that we bleed out slowly down maybe to 60, 50k, and then after 2027 or something like that, we start then a completely new bull run, taking Bitcoin, of course, to much higher levels. That is possible. That's why during this phase, it is possible that Bitcoin would enter here into a bear market before we're gonna see again new all-time highs for Bitcoin. But even if we from now on enter into a bear market and we do something like that, we could still in theory in 2026 reach those red areas up here where Bitcoin should be topping out somewhere, and we would be still at higher prices than right now. So it's difficult to say, but based on what happened in the history, we should be seeing Bitcoin trading right now somewhere up here between $180 to $230,000. And then if we would be up here, I would say yes, the cycle top is in and bear market will be starting. But down here at this blue accumulation zone, this is an accumulation zone and not take profit zone. In theory, we should be buying up because we should expect Bitcoin to rally all the way up here. So that's why we have kind of a timing problem, and that of course could lead into a bear market before we see new all-time highs. But if Bitcoin starts to rally here very hard and is breaking important resistance levels in the next coming days and weeks, let's say latest at the end of this month or November, then we have the chance here to resume the bull run. But until then, I'm afraid that we have a big timing problem and that we could enter really here into a bear market before we head higher. And that would mean, of course, also for the altcoins that they are getting decimated. All of them, guys. Ethereum, Tron, Solana, especially the ones that didn't even reach new all-time highs in this cycle. I mean, we had Tron performing very well. Solana also performing very, very well during this bull run. So we had the different coins that really performed very, very well. But Ethereum, for example, didn't really move that much. But also here we are in theory still in an uptrend. We have, of course, some indicators flashing like with sell indicators, but doesn't matter how the chart is looking like. If Bitcoin would rally to new all-time highs, also in Ethereum, immediately we would see here a big bounce and, of course, continuation to the upside, even though we get everywhere those sell signals right now. Alright guys, so I'm gonna wrap it up for now. I'm gonna do later on some update videos on some new projects that are upcoming, like MaxiDoge or Bitcoin Hyper, because as you know, I like to invest right now into new low market cap coins and not old altcoins, because some of them they're not even outperforming Bitcoin or even like create new all-time highs. That's why I like to invest basically into new low market cap coins like Bitcoin Hyper, MaxiDoge, and so on. So basically the ones that I bought here that you find also here in the video description, those are all the hyped ones right now that everyone is buying up, basically because whenever they're launching, usually they're pumping nicely, and that's why I'm buying in. And if you want to be following me, the links are right here. But as I told you guys, right now I'm not touching the altcoins, I'm just buying more into Bitcoin. And if I'm putting some money into risky assets, I buy into those low market cap coins, at least to have the chance that some of them explodes at launch. And then of course we can do some nice gains and like that accumulate more Bitcoin. Alright guys, that's it for now. Of course, always do your own research. Nothing is a financial advice, guys. If you're taking some trades here, if you're buying more altcoins, you can do that, of course. If Bitcoin starts a completely new rally here and is really here bottoming out and continues to go towards new all-time highs, of course, also the altcoins will do great. At the moment, I have enough altcoins. I'm just buying more into low market cap coins and more into Bitcoin, because Bitcoin anyway, I DCA always in every now and then. Doesn't matter the price, doesn't matter in what kind of area that we are in the cycle. I just buy blindly every now and then some Bitcoin since 2017, and so far we have been doing great, of course. If you just buy for the long term, then of course you should be fine. It's just for short-term volatile moves here that you think maybe you can get better prices. Yes, that's true if we enter into a bear market, but at the end, if you hodl long enough, it doesn't really matter if you bought at 100k or 50k. Of course, you could have said that I could have bought a double, yes, but long term, of course, when Bitcoin is going to maybe millions or something like that, then it doesn't really matter at what prices that you bought in. Alright guys, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. I keep you updated, of course, and we're gonna see us all in the next one. Bye for now.